So we're live. Welcome to our Friday evening session. We've been having these sessions for over 5 years now by the blessings of our Gurudev, Vaishnavas, and Acharyas. And I want to welcome everyone to today's program. We're broadcasting live on Facebook, and I also have a distinguished panel on WebEx, which is also live, and I'm going to introduce them very soon. To begin with, we're at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Gandharvika Giridhariju at the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram, SoCal, and at the request and order of Srila Bhakti Pawan Janardhan Maharaj, we bring you this special series, two-part series, which is titled The World of Faith, where we inquire into Sri Gītā with the help of our Acharyas, what they have given us, and try to not simply read superficially, but try to do a deep dive and extract the hidden treasure of the sweet absolute. So that's our humble endeavor, and it's a joint effort. And let me also right now introduce everyone to our distinguished panel here. I have Sripad Arun Krishna Prabhu here with me. And also I have Sripad Chinmoy Prabhu. His picture is a little, if he says something, then he will become, his window will become bigger. So, but this is our panel. And so before we begin, we want to offer what is called auspicious invocation to our teachers, and I would request everyone who knows the invocations to join in, and those who don't to simply please associate with the vibration in a meditative mood, and that will be a blessing to everyone. So with that, Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sacha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sacha Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Guru Abhishta Sapurakam Guru Ganarashisha Sambhushitam Chinta Chinta Samastu Vedanipunam Shri Rupa Panthanugam Govinda Bhidam Ujjalam Vartanam Bhaktanvitam Sundaram Mande Vishwa Guruncha Divya Bhagavat Premno Hibij Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandra Badanam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Budim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Bandetam Shubhadam Adeka Sharanam Nasiswaram Sridharam Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Gauriya Gurvanvaye Bhata Bhanuriva Prabhat Gagne Gaura Sankirtanaya Mayavadati Mingilodaragata Dritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudha Bhigahana Pradata Prabhum Tam Bhaje Namo Gaura Kishoraya Bhaktavadhuta Murtaye Gaurang Rabadna Bhrangaya Radha Bhavan Shivine Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Sarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudhanidim Gaura Vrajashita Sheshaira Vaishnavaira Vanda Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Premabdham Vidya Vaishnavam Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvaiva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavtaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namah. So, we are discussing the world of faith. That is our topic for today. And in our common perceptual experience of the world, which happens every time, all the time, to all of us. And why I say experience, because experience is something intrinsic to who we really are as a conscious entity, as an individual, as we go about our lives every day. We perceive things, we see things, and based on that perception, based on what we have in front of us, on our perceptions and our experience, that shapes our action, that shapes our thoughts, and that kind of decides how we react and how we respond to the environment as such. And the reason why I say world of faith, because our teachers, as they extract this inner meaning from Srimad Bhagavad Gītā, is the fact that what we see is not all in all. And this is something which is, and we will discuss as we go forth, but this is something which anyone can apply common sense and see that there's always a spectrum of our vision, and within the spectrum we are active, we are able to see, perceive, but there are things and colors and visions beyond our spectrum. Similarly, sound and so forth. So, for the purpose of a gross example, this is something that we already know, that our perception or what we perceive does not give us a complete picture, even within the material world, or even within this world of experience that we go about every day. So to begin with, this is something that you might consider before we start. For most persons, we know that perception is reality. What we see, pretty much that's it. There's nothing beyond. And then what happens is global events, catastrophes, disasters, things of that nature, they are so unsettling to people that it's like someone's pulled the rug from underneath their feet. And why? Because this is all they had. This is all everyone was capable of perceiving, and when this comes down crashing, then there is no existence, and it's really hard for people. And then it has its secondary and tertiary effects. So when we're reading, I also want to mention another thing to viewers who might be joining us for the first time, is the fact that there are so many commentaries and so many readings of Bhagavad Gītā. Sometimes Bhagavad Gītā is sung very nicely in places, and the verses are sung and it sounds really nice, but there's hardly any discussions or any topics that are discovered therein. It's just a simple plain Jane reading, which is also good. I'm not saying that's bad. Then there are other places that give their own perspectives. There are different schools of thought within India, outside India. They have their own, and they try and use what is given in Sri Gītā to kind of propagate their own separate perspective. Our endeavor comes in the line of Sri Chaitanya Dev, Sriman Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He appeared in the land of India a little over 500 years back, and then he revived the Vedic conception entirely, and the heart of the Vedic conception, so to speak, which is Vaishnavism. And if you try to go in, if to focus in a little bit more, it's Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And so that is our sampradaya, and we respect everyone without any reservation. And at the same time, we invite everyone to come and have a taste of this hidden treasure that we have. And so with that, I will begin the reading. And this is titled The World of Faith Beyond Our Perceptual Experience. So please follow with me. And if you have any questions, if there's anything that you want to chime in, please anytime with the panel. And to the persons who are watching the live feed, if you want to join us in the live discussion, you're more than welcome. You just drop an email to either myself, Arun Krishna Prabhu, or Chinmoy Prabhu, and then we'll be happy to give you and send you an invitation. So with that, let's begin. Sri Chaitanya Dev is both Radha and Krishna combined. He is Krishna in the mood of Radha, searching for himself. He is both the positive and the negative aspects of the Absolute combined. The Shankara school and other impersonalists claim that when the positive and negative combine, the result is a kind of equilibrium. So here Guru Maharaj is saying equilibrium means just static existence, no dynamism, no movement, no lila or vilas or of any kind, no. So no further development. So it's just existence. But according to the Vaishnava philosophy, the combination is dynamic. The combination of the positive and the negative of the Absolute. His nature becomes that of searching for himself, searching for his own positive self. So we are given this lens here to understand the Leela of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he appeared, in what mood he appeared. So he's the Supreme Absolute, predominating moiety, which is the positive. He's the enjoyer, he's the absolute enjoyer. And Srimati Radha, she is the supreme predominated moiety of the Absolute. And so she represents the supreme negative. And so Sri Chaitanya Dev is supreme negative and supreme positive combined, but in the forgetfulness of his own self as the supreme positive, and he searches for himself in the mood of the negative. In that search, he distributes himself to others. The negative attracts the positive, and the positive is thus distributed to the public. So this is something peculiar to Sri Chaitanya Dev's descent, that magnanimity. Because Krishna descended, but when he descended and he manifested his intimate pastimes, they were only for a limited number of people, a circle, and nothing beyond. But Sri Chaitanya Dev, he is the most magnanimous. He distributes. This is the essence of Sri Chaitanya Dev. So here we got a little primer from Param Guru Maharaj as to the background of Chaitanya Dev and what his Leela is and his mood. And so we go on. The intimate associates of the Lord have revealed such a conception, and we shall be able to conceive it according to the intensity and degree of our faith. Okay. Faith is the only instrument for the finite to measure the infinite. Now, let me repeat that. It's really important. Faith is the only instrument for the finite to measure the infinite. To survey the infinite, all other methods are futile. Faith is the most spacious substance within us. It can cover a long, long distance. In the infinite, what faith can we have in faith? We fear blind faith. Yet, in the infinite, the impossible becomes possible. Everything is possible, but only faith has the possibility of connecting us with the infinite, while all other methods are useless. And just a little moment here, that if we are to understand the real meaning of the word faith, the genesis is from the word in Sanskrit called Shraddha. Shraddha is that faith that we're talking about here. There may be other kinds of faith. There are multifarious kinds of faiths. But the specific faith over here that is being referred to is Shraddha. And if we were to improve upon simply faith, then to use Govinda Maharaj, who is our Gurudev, our teacher, he added his special little tinge here, saying that Shraddha should actually be translated as affectionate faith. So there's a tinge of affection in there. It's not dry or speculative. It has some amount of affection. May not be like a whole lot or developed, but it does have some intrinsic affection. And that quality of faith is Shraddha. So we go on. So he begins with Shraddha, faith, can go a long distance. And we shall be able to feel and conceive that faith is not merely imaginary. It has its tangible position, a most efficient position within us. When we can disconnect from all phases of perceptual experience, we can live in faith alone. Let me say that again. It's the central thought. When we can disconnect from all phases of perceptual experience, we can live in faith alone. When all the wealth of our experience deceives us and makes treachery with us, our faith will save us. The whole world of our experience will vanish one day with the final wholesale dissolution. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 13, verse 9. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. But faith will remain, faithfully attending us. Faith will remain faithfully attending us. That is the innate thing with our soul. So faith is actually an attribute of being conscious. And with the wholesale dissolution of our body, mind and senses, the whole world of our experience will go where? No one knows. The sun, the moon, the ether, the air, everything will vanish in wholesale dissolution. So all the wealth that people are amassing, huge amounts, billionaire, multi-billionaire, and which of those billionaires are able to take their wealth with them? That's a question worth asking. Only faith will live. Even at that stage, faith is eternal substance within us. And we are told that with the favorable circumstances of faith, we can go back to God, back to home. Back to home, sweet home. Such highest prospect is given to us who are in this world of mortality. So right now we're dealing with this conundrum of life and death and disease, old age, infirmity, and so many other challenges that we don't really like, but they're being forced on us. So such highest prospect is given to us who are in this world of mortality, which is a burial ground and cremation ground. Here everything is bound to be buried. So he quotes Gray's elegy. The boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, all that beauty, all that wealth ever gave, awaits alike the inevitable hour. The paths of glory lead but to the grave. This is the world of experience. Everything leads but to the grave. But faith is not treacherous. It will remain within, with the soul, and grant hope, prospect, and sustenance. And what kind of sustenance? Home comfort. Back to God, back to home. When there is the proposal of such an alternative, who would be such a fool to run after the experiences of this civilized atomic world? Experience and science are all the jaws of death. Faith is nothing vague. Here, there's the verse that we're talking about from Bhagavad Gītā. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami. Yasyama jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. Let me repeat that. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. This is from chapter 2, verse 69. Constitution of the soul. Some persons are awake in the world of experience. Their day is the world of experience, and their night is the soul's world. God's world. And another class of men are wakeful in the soul's world and are sleeping in this world of experience. Hare Krishna. This world is darkness to them, and they are quite awake in the world of faith. They find that the world of faith is a permanent world. It's not impermanent as this one. This world of temporal experience that we are invested in completely. The soul, however tiny, has a substantial position in eternity. It is an eternal factor in that world of faith. There we shall find, whatever I see is eternal. Nothing will be affected at any time. I am a member of the world of reality. And through faith I can reach such a subtle plane that never dies or changes. There is such a subtle higher plane, and my soul is a member of that plane. The soul is wakeful there and is asleep in this world of experience, having no connection with it. And the man of the world of experience with flesh and blood, he is wakeful here. Whereas that real world, the soul world, is like dark night to him. Why? Because he has no conception, he has no real faith. Rather, he has not employed his faith in that direction. So there is nothing. That's by choice. In our present condition, it may seem almost non-existent, but such a plane is the substantial, eternal reality. Its existence supersedes all. All may vanish, but faith stands forever. Faith is the particular potency of Srimati Radharani. Sukha Rupa Krishna Kare Sukhaswadana Bhakta Gane Sukhadite Alladini Karana. This is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 8, verse 158. Ecstasy personified is Krishna himself. And he feels, tastes, and enjoys himself, but only through faith is it possible to transmit and distribute that ecstasy and joy to others. Faith is the very nature of the Alladini Shakti. The ecstasy potency which is represented in full by Srimati Radharani. It can transmit total Krishna consciousness to the devotees outside. Faith is the halo of Srimati Radharani, by the light of which others may understand Krishna. When the negative combines with the positive, realization of their function is distributed to all other negative parts. The central mother negative can expand and transmit such faith and joy. Shraddha, faith, is a special substance about which we must inquire. It is not merely abstract. So I just want to take a little moment here just to reflect with the panel and everyone else is why Param Guru Maharaj again and again he is trying to emphasize that faith is not merely abstract. Because what happens is, Dandavat Sangeeta ji, namaskar.
Namaste.
So, we use terminology like truth, let's speak the truth, be on truth's side.
Sangeeta ji, your microphone is on.
Yes, could you please, it's...
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. Just when you have to say something, then you can unmute. So we used terms like faith and truth without understanding really that what these terms mean. And so that's why again and again Param Guru Maharaj is trying to make us realize that don't think that it's a mere abstraction, faith. Okay, it's just some term and anyone can use it. It's at my beck and mercy. I can utter it, I can chant it, I can do whatever I want with it. No, it's actually really the most tangible substance that we have at our disposal. If we are to search out that supreme truth. So that's why he is saying it again and again, to make us realize that. Back to Param Guru Maharaj. We are wakeful in this material world, but there are others who are completely awake in that plane of faith. While this world of matter, this tangible world of enjoyment and exploitation is underground to them. It is far, far away from their conception. They are deeply engaged in the world of service. Through Shraddha, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami. To them, even to see Krishna is a type of enjoyment. Okay, so everyone wants to see God. Now hear this. Let me say it again. To them, to those who are awake in the world of faith and active in service, to them, even to see Krishna is a type of enjoyment. They think, no, we won't disturb his sweet will. Whenever he likes, so he may call for us, and then we shall have a chance to see him, otherwise not. If for my personal satisfaction I desire to see Krishna, O Krishna, come and stand before me so I can see you and satisfy my eyes or inner hankering, this is a kind of imposition by our exploiting nature. That is not the way to see God. And people say, if you can prove to me that such and such is this, this is this, this is this, then I will believe. That is a totally wrong way, wrong premise to go about trying to have some glimpse of the truth. A devotee does not want this. Actual devotees do not allow these thoughts to enter their minds. But they maintain the mood whenever he wishes to, he will call for me, and then I shall have a chance to see him. Madhavendra Puri maintained his body by eating only what automatically came to him without begging from others. Otherwise, he would fast. One day, Krishna himself came and supplied some food, and he asked, "Why? Puri, don't you go and beg for food? Why do you act in this way, sometimes fasting?" Hearing of this incident, we may think that Madhavendra Puri was greatly fortunate. Krishna himself came and supplied food to him. But we find higher devotion in Srila Sanatana Goswami. When Srimati Radharani came and supplied foodstuffs to Srila Rupa Goswami for cooking paramanna, milk rice, Srila Sanatana Goswami was very disturbed at heart. "What is this, Rupa? Did you aspire after something for me?" "Yes, I did, my lord, my Gurudev. I thought that if I could obtain some milk and rice, I would be able to prepare some paramanna, which is very dear to you. Then I would invite you to take that prasad." "Oh, you have done a great wrong. This is so tasteful. I have never found such tasteful things in this world. Therefore, it must have some extraordinary origin. Who gave you the necessary ingredients you wanted for this preparation?" So, Srila Sanatana Goswami is asking Srila Rupa Goswami like that. Srila Rupa Goswami replied, "A girl came and gave it to me in the name of her family guardians." Srila Sanatana Goswami wanted to know who the girl was, but she was nowhere to be found in the nearby village. Sanatana Goswami could understand that Srimati Radharani herself had come and supplied those ingredients. We are searching after her in order to serve her, and she came and served us? Why is this? Just the opposite. My dear brother, what have you done? You wanted something from me, and that was supplied by her. We want her so that we may serve her. But she came and served us and went away. This is a great misfortune." He was greatly dissatisfied and left that place with these thoughts. Rupa Goswami could not take that prasadam. He thought, "I invited my Guru, Srila Sanatana Goswami, in order to serve and satisfy him." But quite the opposite result came. He has left dissatisfied. He ran after Sanatana Goswami to try and satisfy him. So we see that Krishna himself brought foodstuffs to Madhavendra Puri, and that may be considered a very great fortune, yet in this instance with Srila Rupa and Srila Sanatana Goswami, a similar event occurred, but was considered a grave misfortune. In the higher type of devotion, there is never any desire that Krishna or his associates will come to serve and supply us, or that he will show himself to us. To impose our whim on him is not actual service. Whatever he likes to do, he may do. And whatever may be necessary from us, we shall consider ourselves fortunate if we are given the chance to supply it, exhaustively eliminating all our desires in the extreme. We are to place ourselves fully at the disposal of the command of the Supreme Lord, who is never to carry out any order or wish of ours. by nature, he is eager to supply everything to his devotee. Yogakshemam mahamyam. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 22. Ananyas chintayanto mam e janah paripasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam mahamyam. But the higher devotees do not like that Krishna will supply them with anything, or that he will render service to them. Such is the purity of their devotion. Through their faith they think, he is my Lord. I don't want to have his darshan merely to satisfy my lower faculty of perceiving that he exists. What is this? To consider, if I can see him, I shall be satisfied that he exists, is a very low standard of faith. We have no capacity to see him. To make him our object, keeping ourselves the subject, is a low standard of faith. This is to all those who want to command God to present himself. Don't you think? What do you think, Arun Prabhu? Let's hear some perspective from you. What do you think about this? The way that Param Guru Maharaj has put this, that is no way. How can you impose your women fancy on the supreme subject?
Prabhu is, in my view, is precisely the way that the living entity has turned his back to develop that second interest. I am equal. I am the bhokta. So I can invoke and ask him to fulfill my desires. And as you were trying to explain and read that, it just hit me that back in the various experiences I have of Bharat and Bharatvasis, one of the things that materially inspired people do is they do all kind of yajnas and pujas where they invoke devis and devtas to present themselves. That really is the materialistic way of fulfilling the desires of the false ego. So continuing to see that kind of attraction for Bhagwan is entirely pulling him down into your material thought, and to have him serve you is obnoxious. Or, once you realize it, one can understand how inappropriate and foolish and obnoxious it is.
Thank you. How about you, Chinmoy Prabhu? Some perspective?
Well, I guess maybe I'm curious, maybe you'll come to it in a bit, but I guess the ultimate question is, how do we increase our faith? If our faith is just developing, how can we increase it? If it is an actual substance, how do we get more of it?
So that's a beautiful question right there, Chinmoy Prabhu. Just the fact that you're asking it means you're hankering for it. That's one. And that's one surest way of increasing faith, is to hanker for it. Unless you hanker for it, and by the way, like everything has a price, Krishna consciousness has a price. And that price is hankering. You have to hanker. And so I see that hankering that you have, and which is, that's why you're asking that question. And lovingly, our Govinda Maharaj has given us these beautiful Vaishnavas, these associations that we have constantly without disturbance from external environment. And this forums like this cannot just simply come about in total chaos. So by association, by associating with like-minded hankering, who are also hankering for more, that kind of progressive sadhus, devotees, students, those kind of students we hang out with, that's the surest way of developing more and more faith. And true sadhu sang is that. Sadhu sang only happens by the highest grace. So we are reading the highest grace of the Lord is not to present himself at your whim fancy or my whim fancy. But the surest way of seeing that he is favorable to us developing ourselves on the spiritual path towards him as he is, he will provide us, or he will facilitate sadhu sang for us so that we can develop our faith to the extreme. So if we can see that, then that by itself will tell us that yes, I have this opportunity. I'm not alone. And like I said, external environments, any kind of material circumstances do not affect our development and our we strive towards our supreme goal of service and complete surrender. And actually, precursor to faith, now that you've brought that up, if I might dare to say, even if one thinks that I don't have faith, you know what is more important than faith? Sincerity. If I have that sincere heart, faith will come. But if there is insincerity, then a lot of work needs to be done. But there's hope for everyone. That is the specialty of Sri Chaitanya Dev's descent and Nityananda Prabhu's descent, is that they will take what people term as devil's rejects. They will take even those people. So, to develop faith, it is something which is natural, that comes, and then if you have that thing, I must associate with devotees, and I'm not progressing enough, and you hanker, those are the telltale signs that actually things are going in the right direction. Just when you think, if I start thinking I have everything, there's no more faith required from me, there's no more, then I become static. And that's it. But someone who's hankering, always, that's the way to go. That's the real student. Sorry, Arun Krishna Prabhu, please, go ahead.
The thought came to my mind, and I think probably you covered that in Dr. Gītā class many months ago. It was also a service done sincerely will give us in our heart a feedback that will further strengthen our faith in terms of the path that I am on and the service that I am on is is both true, yeah, that is of persistent substance, substance and value, and that service starts to give us some joy to ourselves. That is the way at least the mind and the material body can start to see that little faith start to grow. But of course, everything is dependent on the mercy coming from above. But mercy from above allows, really comes to us in form of opportunity. And the choice is with us. Do we want to take that opportunity, do that service, and if we do exercise that choice, then more mercy will come. That is continuous. At least that's a little perspective I have. Some faith that has constantly grown in my heart, I can relate, perhaps is related to this.
Thank you for sharing. That was beautiful. So I will. There's just like a little bit more, so I'll read till here, and then we'll stop for this time, and then we'll take it up in our next class. So here, to consider if I see him, I shall be satisfied that he exists is a very low standard of faith. We have no capacity to see him. To make him our object, keeping ourselves the subject, is a low standard of faith. But higher, intense faith fully proves that he is that wonderful cause of everything. He is present. A certain section claims, like the philosopher Charvaka, that no, there is no God or higher substance. Whatever we see on the surface is everything. But deeper faith says that the cause is he from whom everything emanates. He by whom everything is maintained. And he into whom everything finally enters. Yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayantya abhisamvashanti, tad vijigyasasya tadaiva brahma. Taittiriya Upanishad. There's a mantra from there. Merely the effect is not everything, but the cause has its existence.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. We are caught in this entire world of effect. Jai Guru Maharaj. Jai Gurudev. And what is the nature of the cause? Some identify him as Brahman, some as Paramatma, some as Bhagavan. God is the destiner and designer of everything. He has created everything, and he is controlling everything. Everything is automatically existing with him as a particular potency of his. Give up everything, try only to have faith, and everything will be found. Someone in here? So we see faith. We will have our next session as the concluding session, where we will read and dive into the rest of it. But towards the end of the program, we have Hari Harai. So if people are joining in for the first time, again, you don't have to sing along. If you can, fantastic. But if not, just please try and associate with the vibration. So I'm going to pause for a little bit as we set it up. Please bear with me.
भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
हरिहराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः
हरिहराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः
यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः
यादवाय माधवाय
गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन
गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन
गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
श्री चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत चांद
श्री चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत चांद
गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
जय रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ
जय रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ
श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ
श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ
जय गोसाई करी चरण वंदन रहते विज्ञान शाबिष्ट पुराण छाय गोसाई मुई तारा दास दासवर पादरेणु मोर पंचग्रास तादेर चरण से विभक्त सने बास जनमे जनमे मोरा यही अभिलाष छाय गोसाई जबे ब्रज कोइलाभास श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण नित्य लीला कोरिला प्रकाश आनंदे बोलो हरि भजा वृंदावन श्री गुरु वैष्णव परे मजाई हमान श्री गुरु वैष्णव पाद पद्मा कोरियास हरि नाम संकीर्तन को है नरोत्तम दास हरिहराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य स्तोत्र शत श्रील भक्ति सुंदर गोविंद देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद श्रील भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय भगवान श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर की जय। जय श्री चैतन्य सारस्वत मठ आचार्य वृंद की जय। जय शिला भक्ति पावन जनार्दन महाराज की जय। जय शिला भक्ति निर्मल आचार्य महाराज की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। सब पार्षद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय। रूप नुग गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। नित्याय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
राम प्रभु की जय।
श्रीपाद अरुण कृष्ण प्रभु की जय। श्रीपाद चिन्मय प्रभु की जय। All the assembled devotees ki jai. Panel, please, 1 second, let me stop the stream here.